to identify himself with an organ. Hriday is maybe, like in a very natural way, when that it's not that part of the body, in a natural way, when we identify ourselves, what we point at is the Hriday. Hriday is the place of the Anubhuti, we can say. Now, there can be deliberations that is not the brain really the place of all this perception. वो तो मस्तिष्क में हम लोग ये जो धारणा होती है, ये तो ये हृदय क्या है? हृदय अगेन वो बायोलॉजिकल हार्ट के साथ आइडेंटिफाइड नहीं है. हृदय इज दैट प्लेस ऑफ विच वी आइडेंटिफाई आवरसेल्व्स. वहां पे तो बोल रहे कि ये कर्म फल का जो भोगता है देह, उसमें परमात्मा की उपलब्धि की श्रेष्ठ स्थान जो है, श्रेष्ठ परम जो स्थान है, और परार्धे ब्रह्म उपलब्धि की जो परम स्थान है वो है गुहा, हृदय गुहा. और उसमें जो प्रविष्ट हुआ है परमात्मा और जीवात्मा. हम जब हृदय को ऐसे when we point out to the hriday, we feel there is something existing there. We feel an existence. मैं जब मैं बोलता हूं, एक तो एग्जिस्टेंस को तो फील करता ना, मैं हूं, मैं हूं, ये तो माने दिस इज सेल्फ प्रूव्ड. सत चित आनंद में जो सत सत्ता है वो स्व स्वयं वेद्य है और वो स्व प्रतिष्ठित है. मैं हूं, इसके लिए कोई प्रमाण नहीं चाहिए, ये हम लोग उपलब्धि कर सकते. It is the eternal, universal experience of everyone without any spiritual practices, any intellectual deliberation. मैं हूं, I am. ये जो है. और पर जब मैं को कोई संज्ञा देने का प्रयत्न करता, तब हाँ, ये मैं शरीर हूं, ये मैं मन हूं, and all those things which the scriptures say is our wrong idea. वही स्थान पे जहां पे वो जीवात्मा का प्रकाश है, उपनिषद हम लोगों को कहते हैं वहां पे ही वो परमात्मा का प्रकाश है. और कैसे है? जैसे छाया तपो, रौद्र और छाया के जैसा. जहां पे रौद्र है वहां पे तो छाया नहीं है, पर रौद्र और छाया मानो एक ही अवस्था का दो विपरीत प्रकाश है. और वहां पे वैसे ही उपनिषद हम लोगों को वो कहते कि वहां पे ही वो परमात्मा का प्रकाश है, जहां पे जो तुमको हम लोगों को जो लग रहा है मैं हूं, वो मैं को ठीक तरह से अगर हम समझ पाएंगे तो वही वो परमात्मा का प्रकाशक होगा. उपनिषद इज टेलिंग दैट. यस. और बोलते हैं कि जो पंचाग्नि उपासक जो गृहस्थ है, पंचाग्नियो, या जो नाचिकेत अग्नि का उपासना करते, वो लोग भी ये अभिन्न संबंध के बारे में बोलते. The thing is that this is not only here the Upanishad, which is Jnana Kanda, is also drawing reference to the Karma Kanda and saying the Karma Kanda also referred to this union of the higher self to the lower self through a process. Mantra 2. Yes, seturihi. एक मिनट है. यह सेतुः इजानानाम् अक्षरम ब्रह्म यत् परम अभयम तितिर्षताम पारम नाचिकेतम शकेमहि. और फिर बोल रहे कि इसके प्रथम जो मंत्र था उसमें बोल रहे कि वो जिसको उपनिषद परमात्मा कह रहे, वही ये जंतु के, जीव के अंतर में उसका अवस्थान है। और कर्म करते करते, यज्ञ करते करते अगर हम निष्काम रूप से करें, तो धीरे धीरे हमारा मन शुद्ध होके वो जो सूक्ष्म तत्व है उसको अनुधावन करने का एक शक्ति, एक सामर्थ्य मन में उत्पन्न होता है। और उसी के बारे में यम अभी बोल रहे हैं। यस, देयर इज अ वे। Whatever we are doing right now, if we do it with the right attitude, with the spiritual attitude as taught by the Shastra and the Guru, then from this very place and state and phase of our lives, we can proceed towards that which may seem to be abstract, but there is a connection. और वो अगर मिल जाए तो क्या होगा? अभयाम तितीर्षताम पारम नाचिकेतम शकेमहि। और जब आ, वो उपलब्धि हम लोगों को मिल जाएगा, तब हम तितीर्षताम, हम लोग उसको, ये जो भय है उसको उत्तीर्ण होके हम अभय में प्रतिष्ठित हो जाएंगे। अब ही गिव्स एन एग्जाम्पल कि कैसे करें। एक तो कनेक्शन के बारे में यहाँ पे बोल रहे कि संयत इंद्रियो हो, फिर पुण्य कर्म करो, फिर ओमकार का उपासना करो, फिर यथा विहित रूप से यज्ञ आगादि करो। पर बार बार जब ये सब तो समझ में आ रही है, ये सब तो हम करेंगे, ये सब हमने किया है और ये सब हम कर सकते हैं, पर बार बार जब बोल रहे हैं वो आत्मा के बारे में, ब्रह्म के बारे में, तब इट इज सडनली बिकमिंग एब्स्ट्रैक्ट। ये सब तो हम समझ पा रहे, which is in the realm of the body and the mind and the intellect. All the spiritual practices we have been doing, we are doing, we will do. And because the Upanishad, the scriptures and the spiritual teachers have told us कि ये करते करते ही वो लक्ष्य की तरफ जा सकोगे, we are doing it. But again, as if there is a doubt कि वो abstract तो अभी तक abstract ही रहा। फिर यहाँ पे with some examples, Yam, he is explaining that what is the connection, how we go step by step to it. He says, and a wonderful example he is giving, saying, Atmanam Rathinam Vidhi Shariram Rathamevatu Buddhim tu Sarathim Vidhi Manah Pragrahameva Cha. He is giving a visualization. Atmanam Rathinam Vidhi. This Atman, think him to be the charioteer, the master, or ye sharir. This is like the chariot. Now they are in a very interesting, in a very practical, from the sthula to the sukshma, the Upanishad is taken. You understand the sharir? Yes. No, yes. We understand the sharir? Yes. Okay. Now, this sharir is doing a lot of things? Yes. Now, this sharir is doing all the sharirika karma. Is it doing it by itself? Yes. But when one dies, the sharira remains. Then there is something else beyond the sharir's existence which controls it? Yes. Okay. Then the sharira does not act by itself. All right? Yes. So the sharira is the yantra, and there is something behind it which we can say is the yantri. They are saying sharir is the yantra, the chariot, and Atma is the charioteer. The chariot will never move by itself. There must be someone who will run it. Like that. So the point, the theory, the tattva that is established here is not mainly about the Atman, but mainly about the Sharira, that the Sharira is not self-independent. It is just a jara, a material thing. It works controlled, influenced by something else. We are calling it Atman. Okay. And buddhim tu sarathim vidhi मन प्रग्रह में वच, और वो बोल रहे कि ये बुद्धि को कैसे जानो, ये रथिनम, और सारथी इसका क्या अलग हो सकता है, रथी है जो रथ में बैठा हुआ है, वो रथ को चला नहीं रहा, ही इज नॉट द चैरियटियर, ही इज जस्ट देयर, ही इज नॉट डूइंग एनी एक्शन, ही इज नॉट द कर्ता, ही इज नॉट द भोक्ता, बोलते वो बुद्धि वो सारथी है, द बुद्धि दे आर रनिंग, यू नो, he is the big boss sitting on the back chair, huh? And then he is just there. But the car is going from this place to that place because he wants to go from this place to that place. He is the central figure. और बुद्धि ये सारथी है, बुद्धि इसको doing all the actions. Huh? Whatever is being done is done by the बुद्धि. ये गरम जल रखा है, मैं इसको स्पर्श किया और इमीडिएटली ये जो त्वक के जो रिसेप्टर्स है, ये वो रिसेप्शन लेके गए ब्रेन में, और ब्रेन का जो रिसेप्टर है वो बोले नहीं, दिस टेम्परेचर इज एक्चुअली हार्मफुल फॉर यू, एंड टू कीप द बॉडी प्रोटेक्टेड द नर्वस सिस्टम हैज डेवलप्ड अ रिएक्शन ऑफ repulsion from it, and then the brain system tells this receptor, you know, remove your hand, and we remove this order, this control, this reaction from the brain to this outer stimulus is called the response of the buddhi. एक बार मैं एक ऐसा वीडियो क्लिपिंग्स देखा, एक बालक है, उसका फर्स्ट बर्थडे है और एक कैंडल ऐसे लगाया है और उसके घर में किसी ने कैंडल को जला दिया. That boy has never really, being a boy of one, he has never really seen fire like that. He has seen light, but he has not seen fire. और जब भी सामने वो मोमबत्ती को जला दिया ना, he thought it's just like another light, and he goes to touch it. And as soon as he touches it, he feels the heat and he cries. The first time he gets the idea of fire. Now he will not touch it again. He knows. His buddhi will tell him. And when we go on practicing it again and again, then our actions make our habit, and the habit will make our instincts. We have seen, like our very senior Swamis, sometimes they will become very old. And maybe their sharirika karma, they'll not be doing by themselves. They have to be fed, they have to be bathed, they have to be helped in other things. But when the Japamala is given to them, they'll just on their own, they'll keep on. We have heard it about most revered Swami Gahananandaji Maharaj, most revered Swami Geethanandaji Maharaj, Gopaler Ma. গোপালের মায় তিনি যখন অতি বৃদ্ধা হয়ে গিয়েছিলেন, she became very old, and she used to still hold on to her rosary, and if the rosary would be taken, it has become a part of her existence. And just the body which cannot eat and drink by itself. हम लोगों ने सुना है कि पूजनीय स्वामी गहनानंद जी महाराज जब भी मंदिर में लेके जाएंगे, just by a reflex he will do that. But he has to be fed. He can't eat on his own. He can't bathe on his own. Everything has to be helped by the sevaka. But when you put the picture of Sri Ramakrishna, or he goes to the temple, immediately he will do like that. It has become more natural to him by habit than his day-to-day physical activities. It's possible. The thing is that it's very much possible. Very much possible. Just a matter of habit. Habit will bring the thing. Swamiji says a wonderful story of habit. You must be knowing it. एक कृषक था, वो कृषक के उसका जो खेत था थोड़ा दूर में था, और उसके घर में एक गाय थी. गाय ने एक बछड़े का जन्म दिया. अभी वो घर में तो बैठा नहीं रह सकता, वहां पे खेती में काम करना है, गाय को भी लेके जाना है, बछड़े को क्या करेगा, और तो कोई दूसरा नहीं है. ठीक है, कृषक भी चल पड़ा, गाय भी चल पड़ी, और वो कृषक ने वो बच्चे को गोद में उठा लिया। देखिए जरा, अभी अभी जन्म हुआ है ना, छोटा सा है बच्चा। दूसरा दिन भी लेके गया, तीसरा दिन भी लेके गया, फिर वो हैबिट जैसा हो गया। सुबह वो लोग तैयार हो जाएंगे, फिर कृषक अपना वो गाय को लेके अपने खेत की तरफ वो चल पड़ेगा और वो गाय वो बछड़ा को उठा लेगा। But with days and weeks and months, the bachra did not remain a bachra anymore. It was no more a calf. It was a full-grown cow. But doing it every day, the farmer who was thin like this did not understand the difference in the weight that was happening. And soon he became very famous. Oh, look at this man. He must be having some magical, mystical, supernatural power. This thin man is just lifting this huge cow. And just like a baby, he's taking. He has done it every day. And it happens. Right? I remember, when I was a brahmachari, I came to join and I was initiated after I became a monk. So, वो आरती में जाके बैठेंगे और वो अभ्यास नहीं था कि मैं ऐसे आसन करके बैठ सकूं. And then the legs, the muscles and the knee, they would pain, and again I would, change. And then my brahmacharian brothers, they would scold me, अरे क्या तू हमेशा हिलता रहता है, ठीक होके बैठ नहीं पाता कुछ देर तक, इतना डिस्टर्ब करता है, तो पीछे जाके बैठ, सबके पीछे जाके. So in the arati, the brahmacharis will sit at the back and I'll be the backest of the back. And then, the arati will continue for 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Then I was initiated, and then I used to sit and do the japa, etc. And slowly. And then I didn't see the effect of it. Then long later, in Rajkot, revered Swami Dhruveshanandaji Maharaj was the Adhyaksha. He told me to do Kali Puja. The first time I did Kali Puja, and it started at 9 o'clock, ended at 5 o'clock. And that day I felt, I could sit from, it's not always like that, but it's not like moving always. Just on the asana, you keep on doing the puja, and from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock, you can sit. Maybe, once you get up to do the prana pratishtha or the aratrika, etc. But you can see for that long. And then I say, this is how practice works. It works for everyone. It is a very simple thing. It is nothing spiritual. It is a very common human faculty. When we were little children, alphabets were introduced to us. एक समय था, पहले हम लोगों को बोला ये ए है, हमने ए को पहचाना. फिर किसी ने बी लिख के दिखाया, हमने बोला ये ए है, बोले नहीं ये ए है, ये बी है. Slowly we learned the alphabets. Then as we kept on practicing, then one day someone wrote C-A-T, cat, and we said C-A-T, and he showed a picture of a cat. No, this is not C-A-T, this is cat. And we learned cat and rat. Then one day one wrote, the cat ran after the rat. And we are not, reading like this, T-H-E. We're just reading the cat ran after the rat. And after that, so from alphabets to words to sentences, and then sometimes those who have a good reading habit, I have a reading habit, I can read glancing, I can like if I get a very interesting book, then first I will read it through glancing. I don't have the time to read it sentence by sentence. I'll just glance through it, and then suddenly my eyes will fall on some interesting thing, and that I'll read. And when I've glanced through it, I know that it's a very interesting book. Then I'll read it, And there are various ways of reading. Swamiji's life, Holy Mother's life. Sometimes, I'll read the book from back, not like pages after pages, not in the Urdu way. But first I thought, okay, I read the life of Swamiji. Narendranath becomes Swamiji. Let me read once how Swamiji, came from Narendranath. So I read the last chapter first, then the chapter before that, then the chapter before that, and slowly you see how how a divine being transforms into a human being. When you read the life as it is like a human being transforms into a divine being. And it's interesting way of reading, various ways of reading, etc. And so what I want to say is that this concentration is a very simple, natural thing. The matter is practice. সেই জন্যই আমাদের গুরুরা বলেন যে করে যাও, do the japa, do the dhyana regularly. The practice will bring its effect. Swami Brahmanandaji tells to an aspirant, what I have told you, do for 3 years. And if you do not succeed, then come and slap me. But he knew that he will succeed if he is sincere. So, buddhim tu sarathim vidhi, sarathi is the driver, or manah pragraham evacha. Pragraha is lagam, that which, visualize the chariot. And there is the chariot is the body, the one who is sitting in the chariot. He is the Atman, yes, the Rathi, and Buddhi is the Sarathi, the one who drives the chariot, and mind is the Lagam, the rein to control. We should remember Shreya and prayer. How to understand? The mind will tell us. The Shuddhaman will tell us. Indriyani hayanahu. Vishayang teshu gocharan. Atmendriya mano yuktam bhuktetyahu मनीषिणः. जो मनीषी है, विवेकी है, उनका इंद्रिय, ये जो चक्षुरादि इंद्रिय है, ये देहरूप जो रथ है, उसका अश्व है. हयान, haya means ashwa, hayan means horses. They are the horses. So for the viveki, for the man who is spiritual, these indriya are like the horses, and soon they will say these horses can be controlled. They're good horses. They will take where you want to go. And if these horses go out of control, then they are bad horses. They will take you where they want to go. Yes. There are two kinds of freedom. One is freedom of the senses. One is freedom from the senses. Generally, by freedom, we think freedom of the senses. Especially the youth, they often think, हमको जो मन में आता है हम वो करेंगे, भाई तो आजादी है. अरे टोकते हो क्यों, रोकते हो क्यों, करने दो ना. That is freedom of the senses. और एक है freedom from the senses. That जिसको बोलते शम सुख. I remember a senior Swami, we were in training center, Jyotirupanandaji, who is known as our Russian Swami. And he came from in Russia, Moscow, and he was in one of the rooms. And in Belur, there is a tradition. If senior Swamis come from various places, then brahmacharis are often allowed to go to their rooms with permission from the training center principal, and they will have sadhu sangha, ask questions, etc. A very rare opportunity of mixing and asking questions to the senior Swamis. So I went, and another brahmachari was there, and then I or someone else asked him, Maharaj, should we do what our mind tells us? And then Maharaj asked him, is your mind trained? He said, no, not really. Then he pointed out, don't listen to your untrained mind. It's going to divert you. When your mind is trained, and how do you understand when your mind is trained? When your mind behaves in the way as the mind of trained people behave. How do you understand it? You check it with the Shastras. You check it with the life of the spiritual people. Check it with them. ওরা যেমন করে ভাবতেন তেমন করে যদি আমার মন ভাবে, তার মানে আমার মন স্পিরিচুয়াল ট্রেনিং পেয়ে এখন তৈরি হয়েছে. Until that, the horses will take you where they want. একজন ছুটে যাচ্ছে ঘোড়া উপরে বসে, একজন কোথায় যাচ্ছ? আমি জানি না, ঘোড়াটাকে জিজ্ঞাসা করো. Someone is sitting on a horse and the horse is running, and someone says, where are you going? He says, I have no idea. Please ask the horses where they are taking me. And maybe the people who are youth, one or two are sitting here, they may think, this is always how the elderly people speak. Yes, we speak like that because we speak from our experiences. And we have seen, Jarayanti Tejaha, the Indriya, use them as you like, and soon the doctor will write, you are having lifestyle diseases. Please change your lifestyle. Eat properly. And Swami Tapasyanandaji used to say to the new brahmacharyans, Maharaj, what should we do? He used to say, eat properly, sleep properly, meditate properly. Do everything in a proper way. So Indriyani hayan ahu is being said. Vishayang, and all this things which we call object, after which the Indriyas run after, they are gocharan, what they are said to be the path to which the horses will move. That is the path. Atmendriya manoyuktam, and one whose sharira, the body, the mind, are connected to the Atman. He's having this idea of that I have a body, but always having that understanding, okay, the body is actually not the main thing. The primary thing is that consciousness which is leading on. And I have to be always keep myself established in that consciousness. I just can't act in the gross way the body wants, I can't do that. Then the results will be non-spiritual. And what do they say? That Atman, they say that this Atman, which identifies itself, identifies important, identifies itself with the body, mind, and intellect, thinks itself to be the Bhokta. আত্মা যখন এই শরীর মন ইন্দ্রিয়র সাথে নিজেকে সম্পর্কযুক্ত মনে করে, তখন आत्मा নিজেকে भोक्ता মনে করে। आत्मा जब खुद को ये शरीर मन इंद्रिय से संपर्क युक्त समझता है, तभी ये आत्मा खुद को भोक्ता कह के समझता है। Two things are told here. One is that when the samparka with the body and mind of this pure consciousness is there, then only that Atman thinks itself to be the enjoyer of all these experiences. At the same time, in a subtle way, it is told that when the Atman does not identify itself with the real self, does not identify itself with these apparent selves, then it does not think itself to be the enjoyer. That hint is also given here. Now, this example continues. Yastu Vijnanavan Bhavati Yuktena Manasa Sada Tassindriyani Avashyani Dushtashva Ivasarathe. अभी जो अविवेकी उसके बारे में बोलते तू, बट यह तू, यस्तु अविज्ञानवान, जो प्रवृत्ति निवृत्ति विषय में हमेशा खुद को कर्ता और भोक्ता के रूप से ही जानते हैं। See, I'll just give an example. Now, suddenly there was a situation we have to decide. Shall we have the class or shall we not have the class? And we went for our individual opinion. Suddenly we became karta. Raise your hands. Let's give our opinion. And then some will say, yes, we should have. And there will be difference of opinions. Sukha, Dvaita will be there. Maybe a group of participants, they want the class to be. And if that decision is taken, they will be happy. And if maybe there is another group of aspirants here, participants here, who does not want the class to be, if their decision is not taken, they will be sad. So here, suddenly in a situation, we become karta, we identify ourselves as the masters of our opinion, we give our opinion in the situation, and there is a duality in the situation, and on that depends whether we'll feel that sense of experience of joy and sorrow. And then suddenly, I tell, no. Let's revere Swami Dhruvesananda decide. He is the leader, whatever Adhyaksha Maharaj will say, we will decide on that. And we all agree. And suddenly, because we give up this idea of Kartritva, mastership, suddenly that agitation of the mind, अरे मुझे तो जाके अभी थोड़ा रेस्ट करना है, अरे क्या है यहाँ पे, और दूसरे अरे क्या है यहाँ पे, क्या रेस्ट करने के लिए आए, थोड़ा सुन लेते. All these modifications and all these disturbances of the mind just were kept aside because we made someone else the karta. If we can do that, then life becomes really easy to live. all the struggles really subside down. Amar Thakur achen, Amar Ma achen, Tara ja korben tai hobe. Then, suddenly all these unnecessary disturbances, they subside down. And we can dive deep into it. So बोलते यस्तु अविज्ञानवान जो खुद को करता सोचता है भवति युक्तेन मनसा सदा और न भवति अयुक्तेन मनसा सदा और सदा सर्वदा ये अयुक्तेन मनसा ये विक्षिप्त मन से ये हमेशा ये युक्त रहता है. The horses are always, there. Swamiji says about our mind is a monkey. And that monkey has drunk a lot, and after that the monkey has been stung by a bee, and then our ghost has come and possessed that drunk monkey stung by a bee. Think of that monkey. Yesterday I was seeing, outside my room, suddenly a group of monkeys, they came, the father, mother, uncle, aunt, and all little ones, and all of them are so busy for nothing. All of them were so busy for nothing. And I said, oh, monkey, you are so busy for nothing actually. Like that. And Swamiji says that ever busy monkey is drunk, stung, and possessed. Swamiji says that is our mind. He says. But at the same time, Swamiji also teaches us the 4 yogas by which we can control the mind. तस्सेन्द्रियाणि अवश्यानि दुष्टाश्वा इव सारथे. उनकी जो इंद्रिया है, they are not in control. Or the horses, they are dushta ashva. They are dushta ashva. And they just take the person anywhere. What is the way? Shreya and Preya. Just don't do it. Dhayat vishayan pungsah sangah tej shujayate. When we cling to a thing again and again, we find an attraction towards it. And then it goes, kama, krodha, and all those things. That is, but the point is dhayat vishayan pungsah. If something is disturbing us, just give it for a while, give it up for a while, and see how the mind reacts. This is what the spiritual retreats are meant for. You are busy at your homes with your all responsibilities. You have come to this ashrama participating in the spiritual programs. And then if always sitting here you are thinking about, something, your responsibilities back at your home, then physically you are here, but you have brought that home here, or physically you are here, your mind is there. So this withdrawal, going to the places of pilgrimage, having the festivals in the house, Bharitei Puja habe. In the house, we'll have a Lakshmi Puja, Saraswati Puja, Durga Puja, Kali Puja. Suddenly, the entire house, the mode of the house changes. In the house, there will be a small place, a shrine, where, we will have a time of prayer. So this is how our cultures make us, make our spiritual life more easy, more favorable. And this is how we should practice. We should give up things for which we think our mind is going to just give up and see. If after death only, Jivatma can touch the Paramatma. Okay. No. No, it is not the, what the scriptures will say. After death, if the Jivatman has not really attained that knowledge, that Jiv Atman will take another birth according to the desires, will not attain the Paramatman. Our scriptures say that, but we can't, that at the end of the Kalpa, all will have mukti. We never know when it is. The point is that, do I really want mukti? If I'm really hungry and someone tells me, aap bhooke hai, theek hai, ऐसे कोटि कोटि सहस्र वर्ष के बाद जब सब लोगों को आहार मिल जाएगा, एक ऐसा क्षण होगा जब कोई भूखा नहीं रहेगा, और ऐसे कोटि कोटि शत सहस्र वर्ष के बाद आपको आहार मिलेगा, आहार मिलेगा। तो आप सोचेंगे ठीक है, कोटि कोटि शत सहस्र वर्ष के बाद, नो, आई एम हंग्री नाउ, आई वांट फूड नाउ। वो जो व्याकुलता के, डू आई रियली वांट गॉड? That is the thing. If I really want something, I look for it. So the Jivatman will be connected to the Paramatman when the Jivatman will really understand that it is the Paramatman. Upanishad हम लोगों को बोल रहा है, if that is what is to be understood, why not try to understand it right now? Just now. If that is the goal of life, মনুষ্য জীবনের উদ্দেশ্য যদি ঈশ্বর লাভ হয়, তাহলে এখনই আরম্ভ করি। উপনিষদ বলছেন, স্বামী রঙ্গনাথানন্দজি বারবার বলতেন, ইহৈব ইহৈব, নাও। And if I think, oh, I'll become old, and then when I will retire, and then I will have nothing to do, then I may go to the ashrama, then it is not a spiritual goal, you know. It is more or less the attitude of a vanaprasthi. A vanaprasthi who has become a bit free from the garhastha ashrama and is a bit, keeping himself or herself busy with the non-worldly things, keeping himself or herself busy. And often we do that, you know. They might call the non-devoted devotees. That day only I was reading, you know, Swamiji says, you know, Swamiji is in America and is writing to, I think, Professor Wright or something, and Swamiji says, he talks about the American people. He says, here they're unnecessarily rational. They all want to apply their intellect and they want to understand God. And Swamiji, you know, as if I could see the face of Swamiji. Swamiji says, no one loves my beloved. Here, no one loves my beloved. They want to understand God with all their intellect and rationality. And then Swamiji says, they'll never know my beloved, because my beloved cannot be known by rationality, namedhaya. My beloved can be known only through love. And then suddenly he says, you know, no one loves my beloved. And then I was a bit scared, oh my God, I'll go to Switzerland and then, you know, I'll find so many people like that. No one loves my beloved. Like that. So, and then in the next shloka, it is said, Yastu Vigyanavan Bhavati Yuktena Manasa Sada. Just, you know, just see the construction of the words. इसके पहले था Yastu Vigyanavan एक साथ था. वो जो संधि यह तु अविज्ञानवान, और ये है यह तु विज्ञानवान. फिर यहाँ पे है ये मंत्र में भवति युक्तेन, उसमें है भवति युक्तेन, भवति अयुक्तेन, भवति युक्तेन मनसा सदा तस्सेन्द्रियाणि वशानि सदश्वा इव सारथेः. And one who is Vijnanavan, his mind is connected to the goal and his indriya is in control. His horses are good horses and he will slowly proceed towards the goal. Okay, one more we will do. Again, avijnanavan. Yastu vijnanavan. Number 7. Yastu vijnanavan. Bhavati amanaskaha. Sada ashuchihi. Nasatat padamapnoti. Nasatat padamapnoti. Nasatat padamapnoti. Nasatat padamapnoti. Yeah. न सतत पदम आपनोति संसारम च अधिगच्छति यह तु अविज्ञानवान. All of them who are non-spiritual. Bhavati, they become, they are, bhavati, they are, amanaskah, their minds are not connected to the goal. They are sada ashuchihi. Ashuchi mane snan kore na erokom na. Ashuchi mane, they are always connected with the unreal. Always. And they na apnoti, they don't reach the goal. They don't reach the goal. And sometimes These things are so tiresome for them. Sri Ramakrishna tells the story. There were two friends, lady friends. One is to sell flowers, other is to sell the fish. One day, the flower seller, she went to a market. It was late. She was coming back, and she thought it will be very, late to go back to my village. My friend who stays nearby, वो मछली बेचने वाली मेरी जो दोस्त है उसके घर में जाओ. तो वो गई, वो फूल वाली और वो मछली वाली. अरे वो कितने देर बाद तू आई, चल हम लोग बातें करते, हम लोग खाना बनाते. फिर सो गई. दोनों पास पास में सोई हुई है. पर ये फूल वाली ना, नहीं, इट्स ऑपोजिट. यस यस. तो वो मछली वाली वो सो नहीं पा रही है. और कुछ देर बाद फूल वाली बोली, क्या हुआ रे तुझको, सो रहा है? हाँ, वो सोने रहे. बोले, देख, मैं मछली वाली हूं ना, मेरे घर में वो मछली रहते, उसके गंध से मुझे नींद आती. तो यहाँ पे तो फूल है, अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है. तो बोले क्या करे? बोले एक काम कर, मेरा जो वो झूरी है ना, मेरा जो वो बास्केट है, टोकरी है, उसको लाके देना वो कोने के पास, और उसमें थोड़ा पानी छिड़क दूंगा तो मछली का जो वो गंध आएगा उससे मैं सो जाऊंगी. बोले ठीक है. तो वो लेके आए टकरी, और वो टोकरी में ऐसे पानी छिड़का और एकदम मछली का गंध आ रहा है. और कुछ देर बाद फूल के गंध से ठाकुर जी वो कथामृत में ईश्वर के प्रसंग कर रहे, और वो आनंद हो रहा है. फिर अचानक बातों बात में बोलते हैं कि जो संसार के कीट है, अविवेकी, बोलते कि वो टट्टी के कीड़े जैसे है. चावल के हंडी में उनको अगर रखो, वो तरप तरप के मर जाए. कभी कभी लोगों को कंटाल आता है, हम बैठ नहीं पा रहे. हाँ, कुछ देर, कोई मैंने ज्यादातर ये सब में उन लोगों को कंटाल आ रहे हैं. उनका मैंने शरीर मन तैयार नहीं हुआ है. और हम लोगों का भी तैयार हुए. हम लोगों को अहंकार नहीं होना चाहिए. We have a long way to go. We're just beginners. And what we have got, it's nothing but the grace of God and Guru. Thakurma Shamijir Kripa. We should be aware of that blessing and try to work in that, rather than thinking, oh, আচ্ছা ওরা সবাই সংসারে কেমন আছে, আমি কেমন স্পিরিচুয়াল রিট্রিট করতে এসেছি. Not like that. Then I am doing the wrong thing. न सतत पदम आपनोति संसारम चाधि गच्छति. और संसार, सरति इति संसारः, that which keeps on moving, never stops. There is no end of samsara. Sarati iti samsara, eternally moving, that is called samsara. Again and again they come back to this circle of birth and death. So we will end here. Afternoon, the time is from 4 o'clock. So we'll start at 4, and let's all become karta again if you want, or I may ask Revered Swami Dhruveshanandaji Maharaj. So afternoon, the class is from 4 to 5:30. Shall we have the session like that? I am at your service. So whatever is the decision, I have no decision of my own. I am akarta, as I have learned from the Upanishads. So you want to have the class from 4 to 5:30, or you want to elongate it? Maybe 6:30, whatever. 6:30. Huh? Yes, till 6:30 we can have. 6:30. Huh? Okay. Now then, when do you go and have your muri and cha? Yes, yes. No, we are in a democratic country, so you have lost the election. Huh? Yes. Okay, we'll end here. No, no, no. It's not a matter of, like each one has a vote. Democracy will not see the seniority. Yes. But again, in the Ramakrishna order, we will see seniority. Yes. But then it's a, it's a very difficult calculation. Huh? What shall we do? Huh? Okay. I take the decision. Some say 6, some say 6:30. We'll end at 6:15. Yes, okay. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna. And you should move a bit also, like, a bit of walking, a bit of fresh air, seeing the mountains, sitting in front of Sri Ramakrishna. All these things, they will be sweet memories also, sweet spiritual memories. Okay.